OG made it clean in our first matchup of the day, but now I have a feeling this is about to get a whole lot messier. There's about to be a murder in our Midsommar group, and it's a Scandinavian smorgasbord to find out who will be taking the top seed into the playoffs. But of course, we've had a bit of a switch up here on the desk. Maui and Potter are joining me. Guys, how are you feeling to be here this afternoon?
That was a very fast opening match series. I turned around, looked at the score. I saw it was like 12-1. I'm like, oh my God, this is a quick start to the day.
Yeah, at least we're feeling pretty good. It feels like it's an early start, actually, for an afternoon game. But OG, they delivered the goods.
They did, indeed. Well, let's take a quick recap of exactly which group we are going to be going into. Of course, it is going to be Midsommar. And let's see exactly how both of our teams have made it all the way here. Of course, we'll be wrapping up this group, tying it with a nice little bow and finding out who will be taking that top seed straight into the playoffs. Of course, both of our teams here, they have made it straight through to the playoffs. We saw Datassette being pushed down into that last chance qualifier. And now it's Fnatic versus Mad Lions yet again, Potter, coming up. These guys have faced each other, what, 3 times in the past 10 days?
3 times for sure. And hey, they always say third time's a charm. So this time around, I'm expecting some spiciness. I'm hoping for it anyway. You know, a lot of the maps, every time these two teams have met, have been pretty similar. We've been seeing the Inferno, we've been seeing the Mirage, we've been seeing the Overpass. So this time around, Vertigo, it's a huge point of contention. I know Mao and I are going to have different opinions as to how this veto process is going to go down, but both of these teams, they have a point to prove. They have a statement to make. Fnatic are not going to want to lose to Mad Lions again, and Mad Lions, they're going to want to solidify exactly what went down and make sure that everyone understands that it was not a fluke that they won the last time these two teams met.
Yeah, 100%. And touching on Mad Lions to start off our discussion, first of all, as we could just see from that bracket graphic, we could see them making it pretty convincing throughout this Group A bracket. Maybe not what we necessarily expected looking at the caliber of competition here, Maui, but the inaugural Flashpoint champions, they're making it look pretty decent already.
Yeah, whatever's going on in the Mad Lions camp to pick up new players, they are doing a great job. The fact that they found Hooksy and Refresh that looked like they were on their last legs maybe in the pro scene, not looking too great on Copenhagen Flames, I must say, they have really turned it all around, and they've integrated A-Core so well. Shush is looking like he's in the best form of his career right now. So Hooksy, I got to give major props to him along with the rest of the players on this team. Really, I can't even stop gushing about these players. It's Roy's birthday, by the way. So let's get this guy a W. That's what they're thinking right now from Mad Lions.
Happy birthday, Roy. And you know what, Maui? I want to harp on Hooksy just a little bit more. I called him Hoochie Mama the first week that we were talking about these guys. And man, he's had some statement games. He's got a gnarly spray transfer. And it just does seem like, you know, I know that these spray transfers, there's a little bit of luck, but for Hooksy, it's a lot of bit of calculation and a lot of bit of his positioning and his timing. He does seem to be in the right place at the right time, just fortifying these crossfires that Mad Lions really lean hard into on their CT defenses. And he just complements it so well, and he holds down the fort, and that in turn really enables A-Core to find those openings, find those stragglers that are stuck on the outsides.
Yeah, I want to hop on Shush a little bit here as well, because obviously the last series that we saw them taking on Fnatic, he was one of the names that was really, really coming out consistently. So what kind of impact did you see him having on the game?
Shush has been doing a really good job not only locking down his spots because he usually plays some of those big side anchor positions, but he's also picked up the secondary op on CT side as well, and he's looked very competent with it. I don't really think we saw him use that weapon at all at Flashpoint 1, but in Flashpoint 2, he was locking down mid, he was locking down B with the op. He's basically picking up all the spots that A-Core can't get to, and it throws a wrench in the game plan of any team playing against Mad Lions, because once you find A-Core, he's not always the most mobile operator. Like, he'll usually just lock down that spot, be a turret, but now that there's another op that they have to deal with, it's just another problem that Mad Lions is throwing at these opposing teams.
Well, you wanted to talk about Hooksy a little bit more, Potter, and I believe we have a little quote from him. I don't know when this is from. I believe it might be after their last game against Fnatic, but thank God we won that series. A T-side on Vertigo is going to give me nightmares tonight. 2-1 against Fnatic again. Wasn't close to a 30 pom on the third map this time, but it's interesting to see this kind of rivalry coming out yet again from these two sides. I couldn't ask for anything more coming into this.
For sure, and I'm sure he's getting those nightmares, but also good dreams, because if we think back, especially on that Vertigo, Fnatic, they were looking like they were setting themselves up for a clean, easy layup in that series, being up 14-6 on Vertigo, 14-8 on the third map in Overpass. Fnatic were through and through in position to seal the deal, seal the victory, but it was Mad Lions, it was Hooksy's calling that brought them back, and they were swinging back and forth until they just took it away. That Vertigo, it ended up being down, again, 14-6. They brought it back to a 14-16 loss. It was just all over the place. That entire series just back and forth.
Yeah, and as we begin to speak a little bit more about Fnatic, I know that you wanted to bring up the point of Vertigo when you were speaking about, it's normally a map that we used to see them banning out. Now we see them floating it into this series. So what kind of impact does that have upon the pool for this?
It has so much impact because in that opening map, that should have been almost a guarantee that Lions were winning that first map. Sure, the second map was Inferno. That would have been kind of up in the air and Overpass as well. But Vertigo for the Lions side of things, it was supposed to be almost a guaranteed victory because as I mentioned, it was a permaban for Fnatic coming into this year up until October, the beginning of October. So it's only been a few weeks that Fnatic have had the cojones to consistently float that Vertigo into this series. And out of the 6 times that other teams, opposing teams, have picked it against Fnatic to try to have a one-up in the veto process, to try to have an advantage, a one-map advantage, they've come back and bit them. So they're right now 4-6 on Vertigo, and they haven't even picked it once.
And I know we have a little bit of a resident fanboy, let's say, of Fnatic joining us up here on this. You won't ever live that down from DreamHack EU RMRMI. But I'm wondering what you're kind of seeing of Fnatic coming into this and their sort of route through Flashpoint so far, because there's been a lot of times where we thought they were going to be closing out maps, as sort of Posse was just alluding to there, and they haven't managed to. So do you feel like there's any particular issues that we're seeing from Fnatic?
I feel like Fnatic sometimes just aren't in the headspace they need to in order to close out maps. They really just take their foot off the gas in certain moments because let's not forget, when they were up 14-8 against Mad Lions in that Overpass game, they had a 5v3 advantage, and then Brolin peeked by himself, JW got caught off guard, Golden just threw his life away swinging into them, and in the post-game interview last time around, Golden actually talked about how he knows that happened. He knows that that was a mistake on their end, but you do have to give Mad Lions credit because they brought it all the way back. Hooksy's calling with Roy's lurks combined, the way they played off of each other was really spectacular to watch, but Fnatic, that game should have been theirs, and they absolutely know it.
Yeah, they absolutely knew it. Indeed, it was, as you were saying, interesting to get to hear from Golden saying, no disrespect to the way that Mad Lions were playing, but man, we really, really threw that one away. But I believe that we have a little telestration segment from Yuumi. He'll be breaking down one of the moments from Fnatic versus Mad Lions.
So ahead of Fnatic Mad Lions, we look at Inferno. This is a map that was played in both the series recently for Fnatic and Mad Lions, and you can see this is a deep play for Mad Lions to take control of Banana. They get the Molotovs in towards bottom middle. They Molotov out the cubby as well. And they find a kill on Flusher. The immediate response is going to be that Fnatic want to push towards this A site, but look at where Mad Lions are positioned. They rotate through towards the A bomb site. This is from the earlier play again in IEM, where there may have been less time sort of worked on the rotations here for Mad Lions, and you can see that they're compartmentalized into the site, and Fnatic are in a great position that they can work the mid-round as a result of actually being a man down. Now we look to their group stage game in Flashpoint, where it's the exact same setup in the round. You see the same Molotovs towards Banana, and you get the same pick on Flusher. The response is similar, but this time Mad Lions are going to be in a much better position to try and deal with this. You see A-Core and Shush over towards the Arches, where they can actually try and deal with this much more effectively, and you can see that Fnatic are going to get caught off guard. Brolan actually rounds the corner with a knife out, and Shush finds 3 easy kills that's going to make things a whole lot easier for Mad Lions in the mid-round. We actually saw them in the Flashpoint end of things get more rounds on the CT side, where they had kind of struggled to get their feet going in IEM, and seeing this matchup develop, seeing how the teams are changing things up, is something that can only bode well for what's the best of 3 to come. But we're going to have to see if that's actually the case, whether there is development after the game actually gets underway. But over to the desk to figure that one out.
We will indeed, Yuumi. Interesting you pick up that Inferno map, as that's the map that we've seen in both of the series playing out so far. We've also been seeing Vertigo being picked up by Mad Lions both times. So I know that you two have a little bit of a differing opinion on exactly what maps are going to be coming out. Do you want to preface exactly what you're expecting?
Well, the thing with Fnatic on rematches is that they sometimes like to throw curveballs here. There's a chance we'll get the same veto coming out here, and perhaps both teams will just pick their home map, Mad Lions being Vertigo, Fnatic being that Inferno, but I think that Fnatic will be going with Train here. But Potter, why don't you give your thoughts too?
I think, you know, the vetoes, it should be Nuke and Dust 2 coming through. And for the picks, you know, I think Lions, they're going to steer away from the Vertigo this time around, pick that Mirage. You know, it was a map that actually in Flashpoint 1, Lions, it was their go-to map. Bubsky was such a superstar on that map, and Refresh, he is slotting in really well into the squad. So I wouldn't be surprised if Lions lean towards that Mirage, and for Fnatic, it's always going to be that Inferno as first pick, right? Surely.
Yeah, we'll see in just a second. There it is. There's Train, and this just kind of mimics what OGs and Fnatic's think. Okay, so we were both right, actually, in ways. That's pretty cool. So both Fnatic and Mad Lions changed up their opening pick, and that's something that's a little bit more typical of games like this, where this is a game for seeding. There's a little bit of pride on the line here, and I'm sure that Mad Lions want to give Roy that birthday present victory, but at the same time, it's these teams are going to try to expand their map pool here, try things out just a little bit differently.
Yeah, so for the second round of the vetoes here, man, this is actually throwing off the vetoes just a little bit, because now Lions, they can just take out this Inferno, and that's actually going to put Fnatic a little bit on the back foot, I think.
I think it might be Decider Overpass again then.
Yeah, Decider Overpass.
Probably here, yeah. Okay, so a completely different start with the first two maps, but that Decider Overpass is still the common thread that binds both of these BO3s, I suppose.
Yeah, the fan favorite for that Decider map. Interesting, speaking about that Train as well, we haven't actually seen Fnatic picking that out in that other series. Of course, it was Inferno and Vertigo. So where are your expectations lying going into this first map?
This is, I mean, this caught us off guard just a little bit, but at the same time, I'm going to say that Train is a map that Fnatic have looked really good on. Oh, the first map's over Mirage, actually. So Mirage is a map that Fnatic looked really solid on kind of really early in the year, but they really have struggled with it because they were swapping around places of players. Brolin played B for a while, then he's back to A now, I think, and I don't know if really Fnatic understands their identity on Mirage right now, so maybe they'll find that here today, but I think Mad Lions should be favored for the first map.
Yeah, I do think that Lions are probably favored into this Mirage as well, but I think the Lions story is exactly the same narrative as well. Having a lot of success early on in the year, especially when Bubsky was a part of the mix, his lurking potential, his mid presence was so large, so Refresh slotting into that new role now. He's got a lot on his plate in order to make these strategies work, make the aggressors kind of pile in on him towards that mid. I know that Refresh is actually the secondary opera for the Lions on this Mirage. He generally is towards that cat, towards that B area, and he does a fantastic job in tandem with Huchi. So the two new players for Lions are going to be defending towards that B. So really, what makes or breaks a Mirage team for me on the CT defenses, once again, it's that synergy between the connector, Brolan towards A, or whoever it is going to be for the Lions side towards A, and this mid player. How they synergize and how they decide to confront this mid presence is going to make or break a Mirage team.
Well, of course, you bring up Brolin there, and of course, we've got to take a look at our players to watch it. Will be Brolin from the Fnatic side, and will also be Shush from the side of Mad Lions. So, from your perspective, guys, what are the comparisons that we can draw between these two players and how they will be playing in this next series?
Well, for one, they both play A on Mirage, so they're going to be tested in a multitude of ways by the opposing teams. Brolin, though, the young star player for Fnatic. He's been actually the best player in both BO3s thus far between these two teams.
Yeah, and for Shush, man, he is actually such a stud. I know that whenever A-Core is kind of aggressing, whenever A-Core, even whether it's on the CT or T side, when he's going for those proactive picks, it's always Shush that's his right-hand man. He's the insurance plan for these Lions guys because he's such an anchor at any point, at those choke points. He's going to hold down the fort. He's going to allow his teammates to be able to fall back and go to their plan B, plan C. So Shush is huge anchor player for the Lions side.
Well, I think with that, we can take a look at our updated Pinnacle points leaderboard. Of course, I can see a certain James Bardoff over there probably bowing his head in shame as he looks down towards the bottom of the leaderboard. Minus 1,750 points. That just ain't it.
James, why have you gone and done that, James?
Okay, but let's look on the bright sides. Maui, you've moved up. You are into that 5th place. That's looking pretty solid for you.
Yeah.
You're not falling down.
I went pretty heavy on OG because I think this second game today between Mad Lions and Fnatic is a little bit more of a toss-up, so I used more of my points in what I felt like was the sure thing, which was OG today.
Yeah, and then obviously myself and Potter more down towards the bottom. But I think our theory is, as long as you're not in dead last place, then you're not doing the forfeits. It's all right.
Exactly. If you're not in last, you're still coasting. You're still coasting by.
Yeah, until we get a prize for first, I think everybody is just like, let's not lose.
Yeah.
Just don't play to win. Play to not lose.
That first week was traumatizing, I think, for a lot of us.
I was absolutely terrified. Of course, this is only 4 days as well, so that's going to be placing a lot of importance onto these pinnacle points predictions. If we take a look below on our screens, it's going to be 1.88. These were last night's odds that we were betting on for our pinnacle points versus 1.94 for Fnatic. Incredibly close. I was having a look through the break. These odds were chopping and changing, but still incredibly tight margins, guys.
Yeah, and it's a coin flip. It feels like every one of these series comes down to the wire. Last time it went the full distance, OT on the third map. I feel like that might happen again today, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm looking straight at Flusha's performance. I'm singling the big brain man Flusha out because the last time these two teams met, it was Flusha that looked completely flustered. And that's not a sentence that anyone hardly ever says. Flusha's got the big brain in that server. He's the most experienced, the most composed most of the time. But Lions, they put the pressure to him, and he was fumbling. He was honestly fumbling. So today, I'm looking for a different looking Flusha, and I'm looking for a different looking Fnatic to prove their point here.
Well, let's look at the differences that we have been picking for our pinnacle points predictions. I believe we can bring in our two casters in the wonderful form of James and Hawker. James, you can't go for an underdog in this one, so where have you been siding?
I went for Fnatic in this one. Look here, I smashed it last week. I got to give the plebs a chance to win. I don't even care. I don't even care if I do the forfeit. I got so much energy. I'm ready for whatever it is.
So you're doing this for us? That's
Absolutely.
what you're saying?
James wants to get punished.
I want to give the people a chance.
A charity
Potter, if
worker.
I wanted to get punished, I'd ask you to play a game of CS. Call me a piece of trash, Potter. I'm ready.
I can't believe how evenly this is split at the moment. There, obviously James, because he predicted 750 for the side of Gen G, only had 250 left for Fnatic. But everybody else going
it's straight
500.
poverty status over here, but
Let's have a look at.
We've got 2 more days, baby.
Yeah, basically everybody's going with Fnatic. I'm kind of surprised that not many people are going with Mad Lions. What? There's only 2.
I love
people,
Fnatic
Anderson?
all day. All day.
No bias.
I have a Hello Kitty jersey with my name on the back from Fnatic. I'm always picking Fnatic every single time.
So Hawker, why are you going with Mad Lions in this one?
I just picked Fnatic last time and I had to cry myself to sleep after they choked that 14-8 lead. So I
I'm
figured
glad I
this
didn't
time
hear that. I'm in the room next to him.
I figured this time I picked the other team, and now when Mad Lions choke, I can cry again because I just love crying apparently.
Well, looking at these map vetoes,
These emo kids today.
Back to
we're
you,
getting
Freya.
way too deep here. I do want to pick up on the fact that we didn't obviously know the map vetoes before we came into this one. Is that kind of changing your outlook on this, either of you?
I think this should actually help out Fnatic because when they go away from the super structured game plan, I think Mad Lions coming into this probably thought it was going to be Inferno. And I feel like when Fnatic comes out and gets to play a slightly looser style because neither team has that super solidified strat-heavy game plan, they're the team that usually does come out on top in those situations.
Oh man, Fnatic looked sloppy on train. Was it versus Contact that in the first week?
Okay,
They got destroyed.
We got to remember they just started force buying every round.
That's
and
true.
JW started playing, thinking he's McCree, pulling out the R8, just revolving it everywhere, and it was not a great look for them there because I feel like they just took, again, I feel like Fnatic just took their foot off the gas for that.
I have a question. Have you guys discussed the whole thing about Flusha and him owing the man
No.
25k?
Senor
That's the problem, man.
Tax,
He's got the man on his shoulder now. That's something to think about. Just casting a shadow on his desktop. That might be a bit distracting.
Yeah.
Flush has got so much money, he don't care.
He's got to do
That's quite
100,
possible as well, yeah.
120 community hours of service, which is just how many hours BlameF watches demos in a week. So
What do you do community service in Sweden? Is that like working in the, those news agents where they have the little hot dogs?
Right.
Maybe it's that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the roads are really nice, so I assume he's just going to have to pave those out.
He might just be like getting one of those leaf blowers.
Yeah.
Very pretty. So it could just be like, I'm Megatron and just wear a mask or something.
Yeah, there's a SpongeBob
not too
reference here,
shabby.
but these kids today don't know SpongeBob like we do.
Well, just interesting looking back at that Contact matchup that you were sort of chatting about, Christine. It is going to be the exact same maps in the exact same order of that one. Of course, Fnatic did come out on top of that. And speaking about Mirage as well, are there kind of any expectations for you guys of how Fnatic are going to be performing that?
With, I'm sorry.
Oh, just in terms of the maps coming into this one. So obviously we've got Train coming out first, and then going through the series. Are there any kind of expectations for what you'll be seeing them bring today?
I think the main strategy we have to look out for is how Fnatic is going to try to condition Mad Lions with their outer smokes play, because that's their bread and butter. It's a sandwich smoke, it's an E-box smoke, and then we're going to see Brolin or Golden sometimes run these crazy wide receiver routes that are just in and out of the trains, weaving and dodging, and sometimes a flash above them. And that's usually how they try to find that opening pick and around, try to make it a 5v4 advantage. And today, I feel like they should just keep running that. I feel like they just need to keep trying that, because Mad Lions, they're going to try to throw some counters at it, but because this is a seeding game, now Fnatic can maybe try to find the counter to the counter. Just keep thinking, go deeper. We're going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper.
After layer.
No, I love that though, and I love that that's kind of what Golden was touching upon when we were chatting with him in the interview, in terms of, you know, actually coming in fully prepared for one of these matches. Is like, when you're playing an opponent this much, you know everything about them, but they know everything about you as well, so it kind of makes sense for us to be a little bit surprised by the maps they're picking out here.
Yeah, and you know, it already kind of bodes well for Fnatic. They already have a free and loose playstyle. It's only when they start losing that they want to try to revitalize themselves. And you even heard Crims talking about it in the interview. They're viewing themselves as a new team, right? They've been the same squad with the same five for quite some time now. So I guess it's good that they're trying to come in with a fresh look, a fresh idea. And it should be easy. Just thinking about Fnatic's identity, how they already approach most of these games, most of these rounds, these adjustments and their loose style that they want to be able to accomplish. The one downside is it's so heavily dependent on hitting the shots, right? It's just their style, Fnatic's whole identity, it's very dependent on JW not missing the initial shot, and it's very dependent on Flusha closing out these rounds. So as I said yesterday, without these two factors being a little bit more consistent, at times it's a weak-looking Fnatic.
Yeah, I think sometimes we can see, you know, especially from that Fnatic side, I feel like you just call it a typical Fnatic play of doing these crazy things. And it's sometimes like, you know, they might just be taking the piss a little bit. They might just be trying to do a little bit of BM to the other team. But you were kind of saying, Maui, when we're watching this in the green room, sometimes you feel like that can throw Fnatic off their own game. Sometimes when they have these advantages, they do these kind of spicy plays. It's amazing to see. But sometimes when they don't work out, I don't know, not the best thing to be witnessing if you're a Fnatic fan.
Yeah, it feels like when you watch Fnatic actually get it all together, I'll liken this. Fnatic is like a bebop jazz band that sometimes they're just like, this is noise. Like, what the hell is going on? And it's like, what the fuck? But then sometimes it's John Coltrane with Miles Davis. It's beautiful. You're just like, oh my God, this is finally how it's supposed to look. Golden, you're a mastermind, and Brolin, you're the best fragger ever. And then, but at the end of sometimes it's just like your corner jazz band that just, I don't even know, they're broke.
And one of the good things with this whole jazz angle that Maui's going with Fnatic as well is the fact that even when they're losing, how many times did we see JW accomplishing a flank? Now, he wasn't successful with his flanks. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar most of the time, but the fact that JW knows when to push and how to push it, that bodes well for the Fnatic guys. They're always finding the holes. They're always slipping past, and somehow, some way, JW gets a knife in a series, right? It just happens time after time again. So as long as these guys are a little bit more composed, a little bit more level-headed, the fact that they're in position to make huge plays like that, I think is everything.
Well, hopefully, Maui, you may be able to get your Symphony, as we'll be heading into Train as the first map in this best-of-3 series. And who better to guide you on through it than James and Hawker?
On the subject of jazz, Alice Coltrane has a nice song called Turiya and Ramakrishna. I'd recommend it. Obviously, John Coltrane is generally the man, but the woman also has some nice tracks, so look out for that one. But indeed, we're split, not just by the Perspex screen, the easy wipe screen, if you will. You've gone for Mad Lions.
I have. I'm not feeling great about it now. I think, like Maui said, now that the maps have switched up, Fnatic is so good in these spots, whereas Mad Lions, I think of them as a team who are really good at preparation. I don't know if they're going to be good when these curveballs are in here, though.
So my personal trainer is actually tuned in and is also trolling me about how bad my predictions are going this week. But there's still 2 more days, buddy. There's 2 more days. Even if Fnatic win this one, I'm not going to recover too much. But there's a chance that someone else ends up in last place. But if it is me, I will just absorb it. It's fine. I can take it. I'm like the Batman. But yeah, Fnatic and Mad Lions. Fnatic will be starting on the T side of Train. I just love watching Fnatic, man. I'm so happy that, like, with the roster changes they've made, you still have the identity of the team. You've got key players like JW. I think he's a must for the identity of Fnatic, but it's definitely been picked up by people like Golden in particular. I love the 1-2 team of JW and Brolan, which you often see. Oh, that's pretty cool. But Mad Lions, you know, they've had great results at Flashpoint before. They've got some new players as well and seem to be in good spirits. Having a great old time over there. All in the same place as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, I guess that's why he was showing the picture. He was showing it to his actual teammates. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And they're
nice
all
that they're facing each other. It's interesting. This is not the normal setup you see because, like, if you're playing at LAN, you're all in a row. If you're playing like a partnership with your teammate, you sit in a specific place, look at your teammate screens as well to have a quick look, see what's going on over there to save communication and so on. So I'd imagine they have some kind of pair set up over there. JW, was it? I think it was JW who had a store. He opened his own store in Sweden somewhere.
I think you're right.
I don't know if it's still a thing.
I kind of hope so.
I wanted to go there
Yeah.
one day, see if the door frame's big enough for me.
Yeah. I've got to say with JW as well, I feel like we need like JW specials on every maps with like bets. Like I want to be able to bet on how many knife kills JW's going to get. Because I feel like he's always going to get 1, maybe 2. You never know.
Well, the question is the revolver equipped?
Probably.
Because it was previously.
It probably is.
That really is the no-respect weapon in Counter-Strike right now. You know, people used to look towards the auto snipers and things, but the revolver has no justifiable purpose in professional Counter-Strike other than psychological warfare. That's it.
Looking cool and sounding cool.
I guess because it's rare, it sounds cool. Because I feel like versus the Desert Eagle, I'm with Desert Eagle all day. It is a weird gun. It's like it's a feature from a different game. You know, when like one game comes out, and if you pre-order it in Counter-Strike, you'll get this. I feel like that revolver is like a gun that came from like a TF2 update or something.
That honestly is what it feels like. I do like the revolver, just the theme of it. Like there's cool ideas with it. Just having a revolver, it just sounds cool.
Holy crap, that handlebar though.
Dude, yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. Golden's rocking it, man.
That is a big one, yeah. I can't do it, man. It's fluff. I tried to grow a beard early this year, and my mum just started cussing me out, and she literally ordered me to shave it.
Oh
I didn't have any choice. She was like, she was really aggressive. I was like, all right, chill. It's going, don't worry.
I just know where I stand with facial hair. I just know it's just not for me, James.
No, it doesn't look like it is.
God, Crims was just dabbing, I think. Was that?
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
No beanie for Crims today.
I was hoping we'd get JW shades at some point. That's what I was really hoping. When he had those gunners on, he was looking very
I gotta
cool.
say, Fnatic have been doing a great job with the partnerships they've been doing. They released a watch with Gucci. They had the Hello Kitty jerseys. I want to say they recently announced something else, another partnership. I forget what it was though, but they've done some really cool stuff, man. They didn't send me a watch though. As the premier watch guy in esports, I was disappointed.
Especially, did they send you a Hello Kitty one to begin with?
They sent me a Hello Kitty jersey with my name on the back. They sent me a Hello Kitty jacket with my name on the back, which I picked in the most offensive color possible, of course.
What, bright pink?
It's like a big red, and it's got all the bows on it. So I can't really wear it anywhere outside of an esports event, and even then it's questionable. And it might be a tad too small for me as well. But so I've got the Hello Kitty jacket, the jersey, and I'm not sure what else. I forgot if there was anything else.
So basically, previously they did send you stuff, and then clearly that didn't go well, and then you didn't get the watch. That's what happened.
No. My hookup left. Lovely French lad. He's gone. So
your man on the inside left you.
Yeah, it's a shame. They didn't send me their keyboards either. They got their own keyboards.
Oh, do they?
You know?
I want to see the keyboards.
Didn't send me one. I feel like if you make a keyboard, you don't send it to Bardolph, then you're trying to hide something, though. You know, until proven otherwise.
What is Crims up to?
He's a guy from Star Trek.
Man.
So one of the teams had a TeamSpeak issue, which is why there is a delay here. Is that like a fishbowl next to him or something? Or is it glass?
I think it's a glass that's just very close to the camera, because he was drinking earlier, but it looks so big.
It does look enormous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's the size of his head.
Yeah. Supreme actually are releasing a goldfish bowl.
Oh, really?
Which is the idea of it's cool, but putting actual goldfish in there is not so cool.
Well, we're going to be a little bit longer. I think it is Fnatic who are having the issue. They're just trying to get all that resolved right now. this stuff happens, especially online. There's all sorts of stuff that can go wrong.
Have you ever played at LAN, like an iSeries or something?
No, not like at an iSeries. I played on my university team, and we went up to like Manchester and played like one best of 3 up there, and I played terribly.
I played at I-55.
Oh yeah.
Which Steele was also at. He was 2 tables down from me, and oh, well, never mind, we're starting the game.
We're starting the game.
Story time is over because the game is finally about to begin. Fnatic will start on the T side of Train. Mad Lions will defend to start these proceedings, this being the pick of Fnatic. They get the luxury of choosing the side. If we go to the third map, they'll knife for sides. So here we are.
By Armor Acor, there you go. He's got it last second, and we are into the action. Fnatic, as you said, starting on that T side with some nades. I also love how as soon as you tried to talk about yourself playing Counter-Strike, the game just starts. You're not allowed to, James.
Yeah, we should do that more often. Well, we got 3-man on the road towards Ivy. Hughesy will try to put up some smoke, but he's been popped immediately by JW. He takes a bullet for the team, for the president, as a VIP carrying the bomb is Crims. 2 players left for Fnatic in that IV position. Golden trying to swing round to Old Bomb, denied by Roy, which leaves Crims alone out. But he's gone through the smoke and he's got himself an angle. 1v1 versus Roy. Molotov won't do anything towards the Old Bomb area. Now there's great position for Fnatic. 3 versus 1. Shush stuck in connector. Popped by Brolan with the P250, no less. Fnatic take the pistol.
Nice start. Brolan getting a couple of P250 kills in there as well. I think just getting the first kill in that round makes such a difference, though. As soon as you start to push out through Ivy, you start wrapping around all those awkward trains. It's so much harder for the CT. So the fact that JW gets that first kill and then starts them off on the front foot, it means that Roy here is in a pretty uncomfortable spot. You can see Acor not even looking the right way. Brolan can just get out onto the bomb train, and that last shot was on a very tight angle indeed. We have got the force buy for Mad Lions, though. They've got a scout in there. They've got a Mag 7, which you don't see a lot of, but Roy's running straight into Pop Dog. He's taking a bit of damage there.
Got to be very careful. That looks very dangerous indeed. The Swag 7. See if he makes his way up the ladder. JW with the bomb, holding a smoke grenade. Okay, there is cover.
That's bad.
That's a colossal miss. Well, there's the fake gone. But Mad Lions not really reacting to it too much just yet. Look at the bundle of players. Shush, though, up close. They're lining up for him. He'll do some damage. Brolan and Golden are pretty tagged up. However, I think most of the threat has been taken out. Just need to avoid the scout for the most part, and that's been eliminated as well. Which leaves Roy to go close range with the Mag 7. They are indeed.
He could actually get them at range.
Oh! But that opportunity's gone, and I think he'll have to save this now. Definitely money to be made with it next round. Reset the situation. Maybe a play for an exit frag, but there's not much else to do as Fnatic make it to 2.
I was a little bit surprised that it seemed like Fnatic weren't ready for Shush on the B site there, because he's normally the B site anchor, I believe. So I'd have thought if you kill the first player and it's not Shush, you probably realize Shush is going to be on the B site, more than likely. But it was fine. They eventually traded out. The Des was talking about as well how well Shush has been playing in this tournament so far. I think he's been the highest rated player for Mad Lions so far in this event. Let me check on that. Yeah, he is. He's got a 1.3 rating right now. He's been fantastic in these sort of anchor positions. He only gets 1 kill in that round, but he's definitely someone to keep an eye on as this series goes on. Maybe not someone to keep an eye on in this next round, though, because we're not going to see much of an investment from Mad Lions. There is a Zeus for Shush, though.
I have a theory with the Zeus on upper B. Because if you think about that ladder which goes up to upper B, you can elevate yourself like a bit extra from the floor. And I feel like there's an angle you can figure out so you're not poking out. Oh, well, there's the opportunity gone with the Mag 7. That's really the main threat here with the, well, I guess the taser's probably still with Shush. But anyway, I feel like the taser in that position, if someone swings out and they're close to the ladder rather than going wide, maybe there's a chance to do something. But it's, I haven't done the science yet. It's just theory.
You've got to test your hypothesis, James, at some point. I'm sure you will.
I want my PhD in tasers.
Who doesn't? That sounds great.
I will say, actually, very quickly, I did look into doing a video with a taser until I found out that some people actually die from being tasered. So, all right, we'll pass on that one.
Wow.
But it was a consideration.
Okay. That is good to know. I will not be messing around with tasers anytime soon. I don't know why I would be.
Same with flashbangs. People lose fingers from them, and some people get blinded and burned. Yeah, so don't mess around with flashbangs or tasers.
There you go, kids. A lesson taught to you by James. Let's see if these teams listen to that lesson. We're into the 4th round. We've got guns out for Mad Lions. Acor with the AWP. And Flusher is going in. He's going ham right now through the Molotov. He should have been heard there. I think Shush was looking back at upper, but the smoke goes down. Flusher's still trying to sell some presence on this B site. There's no real commitment here, though. Mad Lions aren't going to fall for this just yet, but Fnatic are now starting to group up towards B.
Both teams are actually quite lacking in utility at this moment. And I think Mad Lions have to wonder if it's some kind of double pump as Crim starts to creep out on the low ground, showing some presence, no response. Maybe showing some weakness as it is the Deagle he's firing. But the rifles are to come. Mad Lions very aggressive on the A bomb site, which may cause a longer rotation. Flush of the continuation spray. Look at the hold though from Mad Lions. Shush with 2, Refresh still alive with the third one. JW and Brolan remain. Planting the bomb is surely a dream at this point. They've got to find some entries. 2 versus 4. Brolan starting to move around as JW wonders. His legs are spotted. The bomb's dropped. That leaves Brolan to do what he can. Running out of bullets, running out of health. 4 players survive for Mad Lions. Great hold from Refresh and Shush.
Yeah, Shush getting 2 of those early kills. Again, I just think he's so reliable in those anchor spots. Getting 2 kills on the B site is exactly what you want. There's the first 2 from Shush on the committed angle, and then Refresh was able to just kind of sit in the backlines, cleans up at the end here. That last shot was excellent. Looked like Brolan had him dead to rights on the flank, but it was not meant to be. And now we get a proper full gun round for both teams. The nades won't be as big of an issue. They have good utility on both sides. This is where the counter-strike really begins.
I've seen more and more of these cheeky Molotovs being thrown down the ladder from various teams. In the small sample size that I've seen here at Flashpoint 2, they've mostly been successful. I saw 1 player fragged while he was dancing on the ladder early. So some initial harassment. And again, I do wonder if we're going to see some aggression towards A main from Mad Lions. Hooksy currently in the sandwich position, looking for his first kill, as is A.Core with the AWP. Speaking of which, JW looking over the trains. Oh, and he's been given what he's looking for. Down goes Hooksy at sandwich.
Yeah, he just thrown a smoke out as well, but he peeks before that smoke can land in towards A main. Might not have obscured the vision enough anyway. But now Mad Lions might feel pressured into doing something to get back into this round. Shush, who was pushed into B, has actually rotated over to A. They're leaving B wide open, and A.Core's going to land the shot up close. Great kill onto Golden. The problem is the B site is still wide open, and Fnatic look like they figured that out. They're going straight onto B.
Oh, it's a long rotation now. Roy will get the sound cues, being in a ladder position. Got him streaming through, connected now, Mad Lions. Late rotation from A.Core, plenty of spray, but JW will fall. Post-plant, it's a man advantage for Mad Lions as Fnatic try to get away from that default spot. Give themselves more chances to defend. Flushed by Oil. Smoke gone, Refresh making his way forward. They're surrounding him, 2-on-3. It's a complete mess now as Fnatic are in the lead. We've got smokes all over the place, and the variance is all going the way of Mad Lions. Oh. Refresh looking for the multi-frag, waiting for Flusher to repeat. There's the first one. Can he find the second? Not quite. Man, that smoke down at lower B really changed the game for Fnatic as they were at a disadvantage in many ways.
The fact that Refresh survives for so long there is ridiculous. He's just hearing all the shots rattling off alongside him, all the shots around him, all the players dying. He somehow managed to sneak through. The 1v3 not winnable though. That was the double swing that Mad Lions realized they needed to get somewhat close to the site. And then at the end here, Refresh gave it a good go. If he got an instant headshot onto that second player, just a quick kill, it might have been doable. Now though, Mad Lions don't have the best buy here. They've had to go for a half buy into this round. Not many nades for them. Again, this Mag 7 comes straight back in towards Pop Dog. And we've got pistols on most of the other players.
Yeah, not the start Mad Lions were looking for. Now, what's important is Hooksy has the high ground on the B bomb site with the scout, which means that Mad Lions can focus with 4 players towards A at present. But as we can see, there'll be some harassment. Trade fraggers here, tagging and fragging from Flusher. 5 versus 3 now as Roy tries to fly up with the Mag 7. Manages to escape. A gun which has fallen out of favor in respects to the shotguns and the changes. Mag 7 now 1300 rather than 1800. It's a nice pickup from Shush, and the Ivy position will be important to hold. I do wonder if this will encourage Fnatic towards the B bomb site maybe. There's a minute on the clock, and it does seem like it will still be an A play. There's no flashbang for Roy to make a play here, and his shadow will be spotted as he makes his way in. However, there's a big explosion. Oh god, that's meaty, isn't it? Flashbang just at the wrong time. 38 seconds. He's just trying to delay now. There's entertainment from Golden as the bomb makes its way elsewhere.
Oh, where's the bomb going, though? It is going to go B, and Golden wins a further fight. Acor's pushed in, though. Acor's pushed in on the flank. They're not going to know he's here, but they're going to start to hear him. The bomb's already been planted, and JW gets his gun out in time. So Fnatic hold on to the round win. It got way too close for comfort, though. The fact that Mad Lions can even bring that close is scary. I think Fnatic there probably stayed spread out a little bit too long. They lost one of those picks over at Ivy, which lost them the gun a bit unnecessarily. Then they don't seem fully decisive towards the end of the round. Finally, they decide to bring the bomb back to B, but Golden going out through A main alone was a risk. So there were definitely ways in which Mad Lions could have won that round, but now we get the full gun round out, and we need to see Mad Lions start to get some success here, and there's the first fight.
Crims makes his way down the ladder. Will there be a swing? There's utility to deal with first. And that may really help on this A bomb site. Mad Lions down to 4-on-4, and Fnatic have fallen out of A main. So make their way up towards the IV position. You can see Shush now moving between E-box, the site, and the ladder, trying to figure out what's going on, Mad Lions. So after a quick burst from Fnatic, they'll slow things down entirely. Crims will essentially be the lurker with 3 players for Fnatic on Ivy. Got a bit of radar lag for the time being, but that's okay. Looks like Mad Lions will be playing from inside the site, so probably be posted up to Flush's right-hand side there. You can see the elevation, they can look over the top, avoid the flashback, does Roy. They'll spot the bomb on the radar as well. Not trying to fight to the death though. Nice angle from Refresh. Changes his position. 2-man swing, but it's not going to be enough. Stuck now is JW in a 2 versus 4. Again, Crim's been lurking this whole time. Does he see the leg? I'm not sure, but down JW goes. He must not have. And then Crims won't get very far either. Again, often in the spectator, you can see a bit more through smokes than the players can. But there we go. Second round on the board for Mad Lions.
What kind of glass is JW, not JW, Brolan drinking out of there? Looks like a wine glass almost.
How posh.
Yeah, very posh of him.
Prefer the goblets myself.
Well, 5-2 for Fnatic. I think in that one for Mad Lions, even though they gave up Ivy a kind of a poor time, just having that one player on top of Green Train makes a huge difference, being able to spot over the top. And then even though Fnatic can get towards CT, they can't really get anywhere from that position. So I think Mad Lions did a good enough job at containing that. I've got to say, so far, Acor has been pretty quiet at the start of this game. You always look at the AWPers on Train. Acor currently 1-5 on the CT side. I was also looking at the overall stats, and Acor is someone who does way better on the CT side in general. He has a 1.32 CT side rating compared to a 1.09 T side rating. So I've got to see more from Acor as this half goes on. Hopefully he can warm up into it though, as that double AWP setup is out in full force for Mad Lions, and Fnatic's money is gone.
Golden got that deep smoke in towards IV to obscure vision. Of course, the players can go above that if they want to. Nice flash. There's a swing from Hughes here eventually to deal with Golden's position. Great teamwork there. Look at the response now. Acor makes his way towards the bomb site, as does Roy. Can they go fast enough to help Shush? Nice spray. The Garden Hose is out, and he'll deal with them quite well. It's good for the money as Mad Lions look to get something reasonable in terms of the score on their CT side. Only their 3rd round from 8 thus far. But they're in a much better position now in terms of money.
It's just so nice having someone like Shush there again to be so reliable on this B side. Molly down at the right time, really good on the spray. That's exactly what you want out of your anchor player. Obviously, it's only against pistols, but just making sure you don't even allow the bomb plant towards B is still a big positive. And now Fnatic are back to the buy. It's also nice because when Bubsky left this team, nice bit of damage done there. Yeah, when Bubsky left this team, there was a big question as to who was going to step up. Refresh apparently not the man to step up in this round. The aggression has been caught. JW gets an AWP into his hands. He's not able to land the shot, but it's a clean man advantage for the Swedes.
Fnatic still with good map control. In case Mad Lions try to make an aggressive play based on that early loss. Flusher just lurking above B, in case any shenanigans are to be had. And Fnatic will show presence through Ivy. You can see on the radar they put a smoke up. But Mad Lions seems to be committing to the B bomb sites. So they've got Roy in the ladder room, in Pop Dog. Some old school NA players will consider Pop Dog a different position. 50 seconds on the clock. Now, I do wonder if Mad Lions will get curious. They still have a few flashbangs to play with. And now Fnatic may be running their own clock down a little bit. They're quite static. They've cut noise for a very long time. But at some point, they're going to have to make a play. And this is where the utility becomes a pain. 30 seconds on the clock. And again, Mad Lions, they've now got Hughes on the high ground because Fnatic haven't offered too much. And this is going to be a problem for Fnatic. The bomb has to now scramble into the A bomb site. Let's not forget these mollies if there is a position for it. I know Shush has one from Old Bomb at the very least. 20 seconds to plant that bomb. Oh, if Acor fired a shot, Roy certainly will. We've got a pot shots now from Acor. But again, can that bomb get planted? 14 seconds on the clock, and it looks like it just might.
Bomb down, but what are the post-plant positions like? That's the question. Two of the players trapped on the bomb train. That might not be the best position for them to be in, but they're going to try and fight together. Hooksie's still on this flank as well. This timing could be everything. If Brolan goes down early, Fnatic don't have good spots to work with. Crims gets one. Hooksy in from behind, just about wins that fight. Molly's about to go to the bomb train, but Fnatic can move back. Problem is, the bomb's planted on the other side of the bomb train, and Golden gets a great headshot. That should do it. The time is so low. Hooksy's just going to try and get on the bomb, but they're going to start to push him right this second. There's no chance for Hooksy. Huge kill there for Golden in the 2v2. That's what really helps them win that round.
Yeah, Hooksy doing what he can at the end there. It's really hard on train to get a smoke diffuse as well on the A bomb site because of the shape of the train. You can just line up at the side of the train and it's not too difficult. There we go, Fnatic are back. Looking dangerous as that clock started to run down. But here we are. Forcing Mad Lions to spend all the money now, as they will be on another buy. Acor 1 for 6 on the CT side. Not his first AWP either. That's quite shocking, it must be said.
He hasn't been very aggressive so far either, it feels to me anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like they've shied away from the aggressive plays outside of the rounds where they've had economical issues. But we'll see if that changes now, because again, if they lose this round, they ass in the bin. I don't know why I put an American accent on that, but yeah.
Caught me off guard.
They'll be in the bin.
There.
It was a really bad accent as well, so I don't know. There's nothing to take from that. But they've got good utility. Apart from the FAMAS, they're in a pretty good spot. A normal force buy, full buy rather. 3 diffuse kits, good enough. Let's see what they can do.
Mad Lions have been using a lot of their early nades in these rounds to slow down these A main aggressions. Again, we're seeing something similar in this round. Not quite as many nades, but the molly into Pop Dog will deny another player. Roy's going straight back to that position. We've seen him here plenty of times so far. This rotation to B would be so long right now. Shush is on an island on this B site, and it's going to take a long time for anyone to reach him. But just as I say that, Hooksy is rotating over now, and he's going to get here just in time.
Mad Lions have to stop Fnatic from charging through to the other end of the bomb site, and that's going to be really key. There's no one here to challenge them, so Flusher's going to do exactly that. Down goes Hooksy. Flusher now going to make his way around. Connector smoke. Oh, surely not Flusher! He's done him really rudely through Connector, but somehow it's just turning it around. How is he still on this bomb site? 2v3s, the bomb's planted. Refresh making his way quietly through Connector. Wild plays from Flusher. JW spotted by Oil. And I'm not sure if there's much for Refresh to do, but pick up the AWP and leave.
Feels like Mad Lions are getting really close to maybe being able to get control of this game, and then Fnatic just come right back with a round win. Mad Lions just not quite able to string together these rounds consistently enough to really put themselves in a great position. And that round just comes down to Flusher getting those 2 entry kills. We always talk about it. When Flusher's aim is looking great, he's going to have moments like that where his read of the game is fantastic. JW there got to spray through the smoke as well. That opens up the round for them. And then even though Shush is in a good spot, sitting in the back lines, just too many players have been lost at that point. Those 2 kills were never going to be enough to fully allow the retake to come through. And this is the second timeout taken by Mad Lions. Again, quick reminder, this is Fnatic's map pick, but even then, on the CT side of Train, you would want to be doing a bit better than Mad Lions are doing right now.
Yeah, they have got to figure out a way to get Acor into this game for sure. Your CT AWP should be dominant on Train. That has not been the case. They, again, we saw an aggressive setup from Mad Lions towards Ivy in the round prior. I think it was Refresh and Acor who had a setup with one of them by the server in the middle, but of course they just chose the wrong round to do it because Fnatic burst into the B bomb site. So it was very unlucky in that respect But the result is that their money's broken and they're back into eco territory for the most part. We've got that saved AWP for Acorn now, and maybe we'll see that aggression we were looking for, as they don't really have any other choice right now.
Yeah, it might just come out of necessity in this round. Acorn getting in towards T-Con. Over on the Fnatic side, they're happy to go for a default setup across the map. Have been 1 or 2 rounds where I feel like Fnatic have maybe stuck in this default for a little bit longer than I'd like, and then they give away some fights they don't maybe need to. This time JW's getting quite active early though, doing a good bit of damage onto Hooksy. That smoke may have a slight gap in it on that left side. They're going to boost over the top though, and the AWP is on the other side here. Good shot from Acorn, he's ready for it.
Now, does he rotate that AWP elsewhere? Because surely they play against it. They know one player saved the weapon. Avoid the AWP, key to victory, and keep an eye on the radar. Acor's making his way through B while Golden shows some presence on Ivy. But again, the focus is the bomb and Acor. Currently in connector, we've got Flusher creeping out with the Mac-10 up top. Oh, he's missed a shot though. That was a big one. Sjuush now's got plenty of targets with the Desert Eagle. Try to stay alive. Acor with 2. This is happening for Mad Lions. Brolan creeping back up again. Roy's only got a P250. Got no Kevlar either, but Brolan goes straight past the angle. And now Golden's alone versus 2, an AK-47 and an AWP. I wish you good luck, sir.
Oh, Acor's here with the AWP as well. This flash has to land. It bounces up, and Acor lands the shot. Quad kill from Acor, finally getting involved in the round. And even though he misses the first shot there on the B site, I think the fact that Sjuush just does a solid job at staying alive and landing a couple of shots means that Acor can get a couple more shots off here. You're going to see on these further fights, he gets that first one, then the second is through the smoke he gets it. Because Sjuush is keeping him in that position, and then with Roy on this flanking spot, it was all over for Golden at the end. He couldn't get back to the A site, and that round could be a really important one for Mad Lions to get back into this game.
They got 5 players on this A bomb site. JW gets shot through the wall. Not expecting a fast play from Fnatic. It's a brazen call. Sjuush will make his way over, unless he was missing from the radar or something. That's a good start for them. And maybe that will slow down Fnatic, who have felt like they were in charge of a number of these rounds. And it looks like we might see some more aggression from Mad Lions. You can see Hooksy's playing very forward towards A main. Just delivered a smoke to cut it off. Now, how can Fnatic respond to this? They don't really have position to do something elsewhere beyond the B bomb site, which maybe pulls players away. You can see Hooksy walking into main at the same time, but Fnatic will probably assume it is completely compromised. But let's see how they respond.
Really nice for Mad Lions to get some early ground in one of these rounds. I feel like in a lot of them, they've tried to go aggressive, but they haven't necessarily been able to fully clear out these positions. And now in this one, Hooksy has A main. Roy has Pop Dog. They're still going to go aggressive on B, though. Sjuush gets caught out early. And now Acor is alone on that bomb site. He's gone as well. Crims with 2 huge entry kills. And that should be the round right there. That's round done.
And they had a lot of map control, but perhaps they tried to do too much, Mad Lions. At some point, I'm pretty sure Acor was on the high ground of B by the spools, watching the upper B area. But I think they were maybe concerned of the rotation time, which is perhaps why they got a little too curious towards that B bomb site and basically opened the round for Fnatic. That really was the first domino, that kill up top. Trying to do too much, maybe. We'll see how much they are able to save. Refresh is really out there, so we'll see if he's able to hold on to his M4. Brolan is hunting. Money's not great for Fnatic either, though, so they don't want to overextend too much because it was made very expensive for them as well.
Got to give props to Crims as well for just getting those 2 entry kills in the first place. Not normally someone who's going to be going in first all the time, but in this round, when needs must, he is the man to do it. Oof, so quick on the second shot. He spotted him earlier, lined up the pre-fire, lined up the pre-aim for the position. And now Fnatic have got 2 AWPs on the T side of Train. I don't know exactly how I feel about this. Golden's going to get another AK for the squad. The 2 AWPs are going to have to make sure they really play for picks then. You can't assume we're going to see the same faster pushes in some of these rounds. Let's see if Mad Lions give them any fights, though. It's Sjuush to just push all the way through B and get that early kill.
Yeah, and that's needed with the lack of util for Mad Lions. Now the question is, can they hold on to their advantage? It's such a great angle from Crims. for that opening kill. He's always getting that kill, I think, just based on the right side peek. It's a pretty even angle for both, but he's at the advantage on the better side of things. Shush still up top. Golden's dropped by main with AWP. Hasn't seen Brollan, but I'm not sure if he got the sound cue. This is kind of an off angle here, which is good for information. He doesn't necessarily have to engage, but I think Brollan might realize, because we can see Flusha holding the angle. Now, is Brollan going to try and flank him at the same time? He must have heard Shush. Oh boy, he's in trouble now! I see Flusha expecting him to come from the other side. Trying to stay alive now is Shush. That smoke will certainly help him. Hiding in plain sight as Brollan is hunting. They've got to deal with him soon because Mad Lions are coming.
Oh, Brollan's trying to go up the ladder. He's got it as well. Headshot through the smoke. That's going to allow the bomb plant, and now Mad Lions have to get into position quickly. Roy's doing just that, closing onto the site. He spots the shadow, he hears the shots, and he's got a free kill at his feet. Finally delivers the headshot. It's into the 2v2 with Mad Lions already on the site. No real nades for Fnatic, but the AWP shot from JW lands, and now Acor has two different angles to deal with. No smoke for the bomb. He's just got to try and bait them into the open, but Fnatic don't look like they're going to fall for it. Brollan goes first, and he gets the headshot. Triple kill from Brollan. He just made sure in that round, once he snuck onto the B site, he didn't bother clearing out Shush to begin with. He just decided to cut off that rotation. I assume Brollan may have just caught a player with his pants down there, and that made all the difference in that round.
Yeah,
there it is. That's the kill.
Yeah, and another good start for Mad Lions, but Fnatic are just forcing their way into these rounds. Sometimes allowing Mad Lions to open the door for them. Now Mad Lions find themselves with pistols once again. Really dangerous with the 5.7s and a Desert Eagle. No pop flash plays to be had though, just a high explosive grenade. JW goes fishing now. It's a round to have some fun with. As long as he's got his rifle support, you can see Flusha flying through now. It's a nice angle for the AWP as well to go up the first, well, the second ladder in Sandwich to look into connector. Smoked at the moment, but certainly helps. So Mad Lions don't have too much to lose at this point in terms of this round. Try and pick up some rifles, swing, trade frag won't happen. Well, we'll get there eventually with Acor. Awkward for JW now.
Oh my.
Plenty of quick scopes. Is he really going to face with a flashbang? Over the top. Standard JW plays. You can make so many highlights of him with a grenade, but Crims will eventually finish off the fight as we move to the last round of the first half.
It's definitely a half that feels like it could have been a lot closer than this, but I think Fnatic have won way too many of the key rounds. That was a nice shot from Roy, but it didn't really lead to a whole lot. Yeah, it just feels like Fnatic have the slight edge in the majority of the rounds. It's never felt massively dominant from Fnatic, but it's felt like they haven't been under too much pressure. If Mad Lions were to win one or two more of those important rounds, maybe they would have broken the bank. Maybe this will be a closer half, but as it stands, the best they can hope for is 5, and Crims has already got the opening kill of the round. Roy taken down early, Crims just flying out onto the A site. He's doing even more entry work, but finally Refresh shuts him down, and Mad Lions looking strong on the hold. The fights continue, and it's all on Brollan. 1v2, he gets the first headshot. Shush has rotated over, but Brollan's gonna back away, and there's so much time left.
Don't think he was spotted by Shush at all. He's not sure what is happening now. Brollan has to walk here in case Shush is in the hell position. He would hear him running. Speaking of running, oh boy. Well, he started walking now. Oh, it's so close, but no cigar. A much-needed 5th round for Mad Lions as they trail Fnatic by the 10 of Fnatic to the 5 of Mad Lions. A great half for Fnatic, but can Mad Lions turn it around in the second half? Find out after the break.
Fnatic off to a hot start here on Train. 10-5 up right now. They are not messing around in this series, and Brolan's not messing around in this round. He's got the dualies. We're seeing way more dualies than I ever thought we'd see at Pro CS these days, James.
Yeah, again, I don't mind the implementation if it's like a common rush spot, but it certainly has increased. Just straight spam from a certain position.
Yeah, he's playing pop with them as well.
Yeah.
Nice and close.
Extra bullets. 5-7. Julies, both are fine. Ooh, it's a cheeky one from Golden. Now, does he stay on the high ground? Does he dare? Looks like he does. You'd expect him to fall off immediately. Crim's getting punctured. He will drop eventually. He's got a flank coming in from Brian as well. Oh, he's got the fancy ones, the Julies. Nice and close range. Had a HG for default from up top as well, but they've gone to the back of the B bomb site. Maybe to rotate towards A. Flusher certainly has the sound cues here. As that smoke goes, he'll choose to fall back. Does he go up the ladder? Does he dare? I think he's going to. There he goes. Well, we've got a wide swing from Hughes. Does Flusher engage immediately, or does he try and hide in plain sight? JW will spot from Popdog. There's Refresh wondering where Flusher is, having a look up top, jumping all over the place. Now Flusher can hide in plain sight. That's a hard frag to find. Oh, that's really cheeky, but you don't want to lose the bomb up there. Well, we got a game on. 2-on-2. Refresh moving wide now. JW waiting, but timing is a thing. They'll both face him, still alive somehow. Can this bomb even get planted? Off towards B they go again.
This is crazy. This is a game of cat and mouse right now. JW finally catches his prey, but Hooksy's over on the B-bomb site. He's had a really quiet start to this game. The IGL has to clutch here for his team, and Brolan must hear the steps on the ladder. He lands the headshot. Those are normally not easy shots to land. Hooksy would have been moving very quickly up the ladder there, but Brolan gets the kill. And those dualies are paying off. The flank works out. He gets those 2 kills. I think Fnatic were really smart in the way they rotated over to A there, with Flusher just staying alive at Heaven, being a real annoying player in the backside. Brolan obviously getting that flank with the dualies makes a big difference. And even though some shots are landed, it was this kill at the end. Brolan just gets him on the ladder. And now Fnatic are in great shape here. 11-5, winning the CT pistol. Even though Mad Lions did get the bomb plant, it's a good opportunity for Fnatic here. We are going to see the force buy for Mad Lions, though, so they really are going all in on this round.
3 AKs they've managed to eke out in this second round. How second rounds have changed over time. That is astonishing. 3 AK-47s. And 2 Desert Eagles for the remainder. Refresh lacks a helmet. Brolan gone for the big guns with the Org. Nothing doing on this occasion, though. Crim's now got many targets, faces them at the same time, and it's starting to collapse for Fnatic bit by bit. 2 versus 4, and they are so ill-equipped. Only Hooksy's lacking Kevlar. I don't know if there is a play for Fnatic to make at this point.
Just couldn't deal with that fast A aggression. These 2 remaining players probably thinking about the save already. That's a huge round for Mad Lions as well. Remember, they did lose that first half pistol round. They went 3-0 down. Losing both pistols is really costly. I think that's one of the issues Mad Lions actually had the last time these 2 teams played. On their own map pick, they went, I think, 6-0 down after losing the pistols. I believe on Vertigo, they also lost one of the pistols and then lost one of the second round force buys. So Mad Lions have had some issues at the starts of these halves against Fnatic, and just winning this one keeps them in this game. That's cheeky. Flusher, oh, he gets close with the nade. No kill this time, though.
I do wonder what the reward is for winning the pistol round when T's come with 3 AKs in the next one. But here we go. Almost the worst way for Fnatic to start the half. They do retain a FAMAS and an MP9. They'll force buy around it, which means they've got some utility. There are some plays to be made, but it is, of course, not a good situation for them. Hooksy 3 for 12 at the moment. We'll see if that changes on this T side. It's a great round for him to contribute. Mad Lions look to establish control upper B. There's no challenge there, per se, beyond Flusher on the low ground. 4 players now for Fnatic in A.
Yeah, Hooksy's definitely an interesting one because I think a lot of people assumed he was going to be a really low fragging IGL because he was already not a great fragger when he was playing on his older teams, which were more, lower tier games, online Counter-Strike. But he's done pretty decently so far on this Mad Lions squad. He's at least been holding his own. He hasn't been a liability in most of the games. This one, he's a little bit quieter. Hopefully he can step that up. Now, JW has pushed all the way through Ivy. This is a lot of good information to have gathered for his team. He can start getting going on that flank. Fnatic are going to start to rotate over to A as well. Problem being, Mad Lions are already swarming the site, and that bomb is going to go down very quickly.
How on earth do Fnatic get back into this one? Bearing in mind it's eco territory next round. May want to just draw the line somewhere here. Try to re-aggress with these flashes and deagles and MP9 in the next round, but they're going to lose a bunch. JW, of course, will get a knife kill because why not?
I was talking about it at the start of the map. How many knife kills do we think JW is going to get?
That'll certainly help for the AWP to come. He may not survive this one. Awkward for him. Cavalry's on the way as well. So, yeah, to get a knife kill from it, I would like to have seen him try to save with those 3 players alive because it, of course, is eco round next round. So I feel like cut your losses. You can still, there's a chance. Maybe with better position, more damage in the next round, make it more expensive. So Mad Lions don't have so much money in the bank or something, but here we are.
Especially because he had that pistol in his back pocket as well. So he could have saved this Deagle and the M4, and then you also get the opportunity to maybe get more kills with the M4, rack up a little bit more money, which is always great for the AWPer. You just said he's got the kill reward for the knife. If he gets a few more extra dollars in his bank, maybe he can buy nades in the next round, because the losing bonus isn't huge for Fnatic. He will still be able to buy the AWP after the full save, that's for certain. And aggression early from Flusher. That one MP9 trying to see if it can take away this portion of the map. JW.
Impatient.
He giveth and he taketh away.
Well, Flusher's got one more flash to try and utilize these USP players. He unfortunately has the flashes, the MP9 and the Kevlar. None of which he can really give up, all things considered. You see Fnatic bunching around him. Here comes a flashbang, and here comes a swing. Could get 2 from this, maybe even 3. Nope, that'll be enough, but damage has been done. They got some impact in that. It was all eyes on Fnatic to see what they could do, really. But now the real game begins. The AWP immediately out for JW, and the rest of the toys for the Swedish boys.
The fact he thinks he can get away with that is silly. You got to try and do something in this sort of round, though, so I don't mind it. Yeah, the issue here for Fnatic is their money actually still wasn't that great heading into this round. They've got a couple of FAMASs in there. Flusher was the one man who got a bit of extra cash, but he hasn't even bought a kit with it. He's just bought the full nades instead. So at least they have the utility to maybe try and slow down some of the early plays, maybe try and take some ground for the team, which I think will be important here for Fnatic. But this is starting to shape up to be a closer game. 11-8 right now. If Mad Lions were to win this one, their money would be fantastic. They'd have a really good chance to make this a close affair. So pressure is on in this round for Fnatic. Definitely watch out for Brolan on this CT side. He loves pushing into these aggressive positions. This time he's been caught out, though. It's Crims who has to trade off the back of him quickly into a 4v4.
Make it 3. Hooksy has had his head taken off. And his shoulders. He's been sliced in half. Mad Lions looking to reset the clock, and with this, maybe they'll hope that Fnatic will split and go 2 per site, so worst case they're 3 versus 2. Not a case at present with Golden in connector focused on the A bomb sites. Flusher is just peeking, waiting for someone to cross, so I believe the Fnatic read is that no one is upper B. As we can see, there's a 2-man play through Ivy. JW, though, has a very nice angle. It's going to be really expensive to find this out, or is it? Nice response smoke from JW, which really sandwiches Mad Lions now. Now, what is your plan C when this happens? 24 seconds to go through one of these smokes and try and plant the bomb.
Oh, the boost up. Oh no, Refresh hasn't spotted him. Crims gets the kill from below, and that might be the kill that confirms the round. 12 seconds remaining. Shush is out in the open, and Roy has too many players to deal with. If only Refresh had spotted Crims, that first kill could have made a huge difference, could have helped them push onto that bomb site. But credit to Fnatic for holding their nades that long. That one smoke really securing them the round, in all honesty, once Krim spots that from above.
Well, they've got 2 left at that time. There was an AWP to potentially save in A main. I know some of the players have got lots of money, but that's 5k. That's half your money on the floor right there. So it was a consideration. I suppose they were looking for impacts on the CTs. They were never going to win that round, but they could at least make it expensive themselves. They have gone for the timeout, Mad Lions, as their buy comes through. So we'll see what they can offer in round 21. 4 rounds behind Fnatic now, after a flurry early in this half after that forced buy win in their second round. They've kept it reasonably close, but this will be an important round for Mad Lions to win. Both teams will be kind of short now. 5 AKs on deck for Mad Lions. The AWP, of course, for JW. No AKs on the CT side. Some initial flashbangs towards main. Look at the aggression from Fnatic. They've got 2 players in Pop Dog.
Yeah, this is something Fnatic like to do every now and then as well. 2 players in Pop, and then one of them will fight heavily towards the site while the other player can just stick in Pop Dog, and they can sometimes catch teams off guard with that. They're not going to run that setup in this round, though. It's just going to be Brolan again in this forward position. Molly lands, but he can stay snug in that spot. I think from the Mad Lions perspective here, I might like to see them pressure the A site a bit and then maybe test back towards B, because Flusher has been pretty quiet so far in this game. In this very round, Flusher on that B site is playing very defensively. There could be a decent chance to pressure that side of the map, but right now it doesn't look like the Danes want to do that. They're focused around A. Golden's got a fairly forward position, as has Crims. This is a really advanced CT setup from Fnatic now. They've got players in T-Con and in Pop Dog.
Brolan has a smoke in ladder and a molly, which could be important. RJW's blinded. Can he survive, though? The spray around the corner from Refresh will be enough. There's a rotation from CT, though. In the meantime, Crims' hold keeps the bomb as well in main. And Mad Lions are not too far away with Hooksy, but Acor's miles away, separated by a smoke in the meantime as well. Crims has a little more to do, but he could be anywhere. Hooksy's found him, however. 25 seconds, it will be a race car, but now that utility from Brian comes in, that smoke I was talking about is up, and it's down to Acor to get a punish in the meantime, but Golden will deny him. A gamble from Hooksy, it fell apart for Mad Lions. Played the slow game, but with no real estate. Gave up too much, and Fnatic took liberties with them.
Very comfortable for Fnatic in that round. Having those players pushed into A main, just cutting off that one side of the push. Having 2 players stacked on that spot as well, as Brolan in Pop Dog, who could have been able to help them fight if necessary. That's just massive. It's going to be so hard to overcome that from the Mad Lions side. They never really got enough information on the Danish side of things to figure out that setup. And now it's just pistols for Mad Lions in this one. Couple of Deegs, that is it. Most players actually have Glocks in this round. So this is almost certainly 14-8 Fnatic. And it feels like this game is just slowly slipping away from Mad Lions right now.
He's playing a dangerous game. Golden, he's let one run. He'll raise the alarm because TJW is looking for that player in connector. Oh, he's picked up a rifle as well, Shush. He could do some damage here. Smoke is up now. He's playing around. This is a problem, but where's the bomb going in the meantime? Towards the A bomb site. He knows he's entertaining, although his entertainment has come to a close.
Oh, he's taken so much attention. Krim's struggling on the hold. He gets traded out. That's another gun recovered. Brolan has to get this kill up close, and he just about gets the spray to the body. That will be the difference maker. That will secure the round. Definitely ways in which Mad Lions could have maybe even won that round outright, just because Shush gets so much ground on the B site. I think Golden maybe should have got that kill a bit sooner, but it's not going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. It's still 14-8 for Fnatic. Again, Shush individually has looked really good in this game, but I think you can see some of the other issues starting to come through for Mad Lions, just not having enough map control in most of these rounds. And now Fnatic have busted out the double AWP setup. Flusher has said he's comfortable secondary AWPing. He's happy to do it. He's going to go ahead and pick it up in this very round.
Establishing presence up top, our Mad Lions. Golden comfortable alone at present. Demolly at the back will tell him of a certain timing. Response grenade. Trying to catch those players on high ground, throwing grenades into the site. There they go. Lurk smoke up top, and the rotation will come through from Flusher and Brolan. There's a push from Hooksy, trying to catch players off guard. Completely blind, though. Golden's in the middle of the train, just couldn't find him in time, but it's a fake, it's a trap. In the meantime, the A bomb site's been completely abandoned. Crims is flanking through Ivy, but the rest of them are out of position entirely.
Fnatic fell for that so hard. They rotated 4 players over to B fully. That push through Ivy was probably part of the reason for that, but now Crims is flanking T-Con and he's just got a kill. That could make a huge difference here. Only 3 Ts remaining now. Molotov goes down to clear out some of those angles. Shush in a forward position gets 1, but Crims is still flanking from A main. They've got to deal with this man. He could be a real nuisance, a real thorn in their backside here. JW lands another shot, and this retake is well and truly on. It's only A-Core remaining, and I think they've got a good idea as to where he is. JW closes out the round. 15-8 Fnatic. Nice try from Mad Lions. The idea was there. The execution and the outcome, though, not successful.
Yeah, quite the retake from Fnatic. That flank was really, really key. Crims just spotting a shadow and sandwich afterwards for that final kill. And Fnatic find themselves at game point. Well then, what do Mad Lions have left? The rifles are coming out. Some shortcomings. We can see Hughes goes for the Galil to get full utility. So Mad Lions will come into this one with a plan. But it has been 4 rounds in a row for Fnatic. The question is, can they break them?
Couple of players coming towards B early. Smoke down from Golden, who is now playing this B site because Flusher has that AWP in his hands, so he can't really anchor the B site anymore. And Golden caught out early. Flusher is able to trade. And Roy's also pushing out through A main. Oh, Brolan, nice spray down. Not able to adjust, though. It's into a 2v3. JW with another kill, and it's all on refresh.
It really is. 1 versus 3. Many targets coming his way. That wasn't the guy who killed his teammate, though. Someone's got to call that. Not sure if he realizes or if he's just running away regardless. It is going to be a long run, though. He has a minute to do it. Oh, Crims is going for this one. He's expecting it as well. He's got the read. The long spray won't make it, and Fnatic, though, they'll make it to 16 rounds. To the 8 of Mad Lions, winning their pick of Train in quite strong fashion as well. I think it was pretty one-sided for the most part. Again, the AWP and Mad Lions never really getting anywhere in that first half of the CT side, which has to really be a signature for a squad, but it was quite missing. Speaking of which, we are going to go to an A-Core documentary. That's about 10 minutes long. After that, it'll be map 2. We'll see you on the other side.